good. Hello, this is just filming me, not you guys. So, yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. So, welcome to 2025. I'm not sure what it is, the year of which animal. Do we know yet? Yeah, the Chinese one. I don't know. It was the goat. Was it the goat last year? Anyways, not the goat. So yeah, I will be doing the practice on Sunday and Mondays, so a bit away for the next 2 weeks. So the next class will be on the 26th of Jan and the 27th. So in the meantime, you're welcome to do your own practice. Yeah, you can come out here. One of the girls might be able to lead you through. Actually, Jen, you can take the class. Yeah, you can. You take the class, yeah. So today I thought we'd do a little bit of hip mobility and a little bit of back strengthening. I had a little bit of a back disc slip sort of thing, so just trying to get it strong again. So, but to begin with, let's just come into our nice, comfortable seated position, and we'll focus on our breath by doing some alternate nostril breathing. So sitting up nice and tall, dropping our shoulders down. Let's bring our left hand onto our knee, our middle finger and our thumb together. And we'll bring our index finger and middle finger up to our forehead and gently close your eyes. Bring your lips together. We're going to cover our right nostril with our thumb. Breathe in through the left. Expanding your ribs and your stomach, pausing at the top. Cover with your finger and then uncover your right nostril out through the right. In through the right. Pausing at the top, cover and out through the left. In through the left. Cover and out through the right. Taking those equal breaths in and equal breaths out. Feeling your stomach rise and fall. If it helps, you can count 4 to 4 with your breath in. Pause and 4 with your breath out. Just slowing down our breathing. Bringing focus to our breath, which is one of the 8 limbs of yoga practice. Here you might like to set your intention for the class and also for the year ahead. What would you like to achieve? That you might want to set. Take a few more breaths, and then when you're ready, you can bring your hand down. Also while we're seated here. So let's just bring our chin to our chest, looking forward and coming down again. We'll do that 3 times. And looking straight ahead, bring your right ear to your right shoulder, back to center and over to the other side. Do that 3 times on each side. Then we'll bring our right ear to our right shoulder, chin to chest, and over to the left ear to right shoulder, and just roll it back a couple of times. Maybe some cracking and creaking in your neck, which is normal, so they say. And we'll just meet back at center. Let's bring our arms up overhead, stretching, fingertips to the ceiling. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, looking over your shoulder, spinning around, looking over your back shoulder. Nice little spinal twist here. And then coming up to center and over to the other side. And back to center. And let's just come forward using your fingertips to lengthen your spine, bringing your chest towards the mat. You're getting a nice stretch underneath your inner leg. You can use your hands to walk yourself up. And then just cross your legs the other direction to what you had before, and we'll just come up, fingertips to ceiling. Right hand, left knee over your back shoulder. Fingertips to ceiling, over to the other side. Releasing, and then bring your hands forward so we just get a nice stretch under our other leg, other side. Deep breath in through the nose and out. Walk your hands, use your hands to walk yourself up, and let's just come onto our backs. And then kick your heels up to the ceiling, lengthen your legs, bring your hands to your sides, palms facing down. And bring those knees towards your chest. Flexing your toes. Take a nice inhale through the nose. Just getting a nice stretch in our lower back. This is our reclined plank position. Shoulders are supported by the mat. Let's just bring our left leg all the way down onto the floor and tuck your right knee to your chest, and hug your right knee to your chest, and just roll your right ankle around. Clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Bring that foot down, bent knee, bring your arms out to the sides, palms facing down. Then just roll over to the left, looking over to the right, keeping your shoulders on the mat. And now extend that top leg straight and rest the foot onto the ground, so you're forming like a scissor-like position while keeping your shoulders on the ground. Bend that top knee, bring the toe behind your left straight leg, roll back to the center. Extend that right leg straight down onto the ground, bend the left knee, toe behind the leg, or actually bring that knee all the way to your chest and just roll your ankle around to the right. And around to the left. Down onto the mat, toe behind that right straight leg, arms out to a T, palms facing down, and roll over to the right, and looking over to the left while keeping your shoulders on the ground. And now we're just going to lengthen that top leg straight, resting your foot on the ground if it reaches. back to your chest, bring your hands onto your knees, and let's do 3 rocks to seated. 1, 2, 3. Bringing our soles of our feet together, binding your toes, lengthening your spine. Let's just bring our chest forward, and you can use your elbows to open up your hips. Hip opener. Let's kick our feet out to the right and come onto our hands and knees, and we'll do our other spinal warm-ups. So bringing the wrists directly underneath your shoulders, spreading those fingers nicely spread apart, knees under hips. We'll come into our cat-cow, so tilt the pelvis, round the back, exhale into your cat, and then arch your back, looking forward into your cow. So we'll do a couple of those at your own pace, whatever feels good for you. Flexion and extension of our spine. And then we'll just meet back at center. Neutral spine, so back is flat, and we'll do our thread the needle, so spinal rotation. So bringing your right hand to your chest, right hand to the ceiling, looking at your fingertips, diving it underneath your left arm, head and shoulder onto the mat. We'll do that 2 more times, so coming up, inhale, and exhale, diving it through. 1 more time, inhale, and exhale. Staying down here on the ground, let's extend both arms straight, palms on top of each other. Bring the left hand to the ceiling, wrap it around your back, tuck your fingers into your inner thigh if they reach, and now pull your shoulders back and your shoulder blades together. And unwinding, coming back to your hands and knees. We'll do our other side, so wrists under shoulders, left hand to chest, left hand to ceiling, and diving it under. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, diving it under. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, diving it through. Staying down here on the ground, extending both arms straight, palms on top of each other. Right hand to ceiling. Wrap it around your back. Tuck into your thigh, rest your hand on your back enough. Pull your shoulders back and your shoulder blades together. We're just going to unwind. Coming back to your hands and knees. Let's just bring our knees to the width of the mat, toes together, sitting back into your heels. Bring your hands forward, resting your forehead into the mat, bringing your chest down towards the mat in your child's pose. Taking a nice inhale through the nose and exhale. On the exhale, you might be able to get closer to the mat, sitting deeper into the heels. And coming up onto your fingertips, getting a further stretch underneath your arms. And then just walking around to the left, so you're getting a nice curve in your left waist. center and over to the other side. And back to center. And here we're going to come back up onto our hands and knees. Just bring your hips underneath your knees underneath your hips. And here we're just going to tuck our toes under, and we'll do a slight knee hover, looking back at your toes, hovering your knees just a few centimeters off of the mat. Stretching out our toes, working our core, strengthening our middle. Three breaths here. Dropping our knees down, tapping out our toes. Coming into our balancing tabletop. So let's bring our left heel off of the mat. And our right hand, opposite hand. Gazing forward at your right fingers. Creating one straight line between your heel and your hand. Holding. And elbow to knee 3 times. So 1, extending, 2, extending, 3, extending, wrapping your hand around to the right, catching your back foot, kicking your foot into your hand, gazing forward, keeping your spine in alignment, holding here for 3 counts. 3, 2, 1, dropping your knees, bringing your knees, toes together, sitting into your heels. Bring your head down and bring your hands behind you, palms facing up. In your rabbit's pose, rolling your wrists around to the right. And around to the left. Bringing your hands to shoulder width, spread those fingers. Come up onto your hands and knees. Bring your knees under your hips, and let's bring our right heel up and our left hand gazing forward in our balancing tabletop. Holding here for 3 counts. And elbow to knee 3 times. 1, extending, 2, extending, 3, and wrapping your hand around to the left, catching your back foot, kicking your fingers into your hand, gazing forward, holding for 3, 2, 1, releasing. Good job. Here we're just going to come down onto our forearms. Actually, you don't want to bind your hands, just spread your fingers, and we're going to do the same dolphin pose. So we're going to tuck our toes under and just hover our knees, looking back at our toes. Holding here in our dolphin pose for 3 counts. Strengthening our shoulders. And coming down, resting, shake out your toes. Come back onto your hands. Spread those fingers, coming out a little bit on a 45 out towards the edge of your mat. And here we're just going to get ready for our downward facing dog. So we're tucking our toes, pushing back, lengthening your arms, lengthening your legs, keeping your chin tucked to your chest. Bring your hips up to the ceiling. And here just pedal out your heels, trying to bring your heels down onto the mat. Making sure you're breathing in and out through your nose. Into our 3-legged dog, and then we'll bring that leg through to our pigeon pose. So let's just bring that right heel up to the ceiling in our 3-legged dog. Your left heel is down towards the mat, lengthening and stretching that left leg, holding, looking back at your left toes. can bend that top knee. And we're just going to bring it through between our hands 3 times. So bringing it through 1, and on the 3rd time, we're going to rest it down between our hands 2. And then this time, bring it down between your hands, lengthen that back leg, stack your arms on top of each other, and rest your forehead into your hands, bringing your chest down and towards your knee, and your hips are straight, length, in line with your mat and your shoulders. In our pigeon pose. We're just going to unstack our hands, bring them under your shoulders, lengthen your arms straight, and look up to the ceiling in your extended pigeon. Weight into your hands, and let's just bring that front knee back to our hands and knees. Bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. Pedaling out our heels. Toward the mat. Weight into that right foot, right heel down towards the mat, and left foot up to the ceiling in our 3-legged dog. Holding here. And bend that top knee. Through 3 times between our front hand. So 1, extending up, 2, 1 more time, 3, placing your knee down, extending that back leg, stacking your hands the other direction this time to what you had before, sitting into that front knee, stretching out in your pigeon pose. Unstack our hands, bring our hands underneath our shoulders, lengthen your arms looking up towards the ceiling, extended pigeon. Weight into your hands, bring that front knee back, coming back into your hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, tuck your toes, push back into your downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here, lengthening your legs, your arms. And now walk your hands back towards your feet. We're going to hang forward, binding your elbows, tuck your chin to your chest, and just do a nice little rock from side to side. of your mat. Move this back a teeny bit. And we'll do our vinyasas. So we'll start with our hands-free vinyasa, or our half-standing vinyasa actually. So let's just bring our hands to our sides, drop our shoulders down. You can either have your feet together or hip-width apart, whatever feels comfortable for you. We're going to sit back into our powerful pose. Chair, sweep your arms through. So inhale, hands to heart center, coming down your midline. Exhale to your forward fold, nose to knees. Inhale to halfway lift, straight arms, straight legs, gazing forward. Sitting back into your chair, sweeping your arms through, hands together to heart center, to mountain pose, Tadasana. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sweeping your arms through, coming up to standing to Tadasana, mountain pose. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sweeping your arms through, up to standing to Tadasana. Half standing vinyasa, or sorry, no, hands free, sweeping through. Inhale, hands to heart center, down to your forward fold, up to your halfway lift. Both hands on mat, step your right foot back, lunge with the left knee, bring that back heel onto the mat, sweep through, coming through warrior 1. Gazing at your fingertips, lengthening your arms. Hands to either side of the front foot, stepping forward, step your left foot back, pivot that back heel, sweeping through, warrior 1. Hands to either side of the front foot, stepping forward, sitting back into your chair, sweeping your arms through, coming up to mountain pose, Tadasana. We'll do that 1 more time. Inhale, half standing vinyasa, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on mat, right foot back, lunge in that front knee, sweep through, warrior 1. Inhale, hands to the side of the front foot, stepping forward, left foot back, lunge with the front knee, warrior 1. Hands to either side of the front foot, stepping forward, sitting back into your chair, sweeping your arms through, coming up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Sun salutation A, sweeping through, inhale, powerful pose, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands on mat, stepping back to your plank. Dropping your hips down or coming down to your supported plank if you wish, and now come down to your chaturanga. Release your toes, gaze forward either in your sphinx, cobra, or up dog, whatever feels comfortable for you. Hands under shoulders, push back, downward facing. Still bringing those heels down to the mat, your chin touch your chest. Take 3 breaths here. Take a walk, skip or jump to the top of the mat. Sit back into your chair, sweep your arms through, hands to heart center, to Tadasana. 1 more time, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands on mat, stepping back to your plank, or you can come down to your supported plank. Coming down to your chaturanga, keeping your elbows tucked to waist, coming up to your sphinx, cobra, or up dog, gazing forward, tucking your toes, push back, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath, resting pose. Walking, skipping, or jumping to the top of your mat. Sit back into your powerful pose, sweeping through to mountain pose, Tadasana. Sun salutation B, Surya Namaskar B, all together now. Sweeping through, inhale, exhale, forward fold. hands on mat, stepping back to your plank. Coming down to your chaturanga. Gazing forward, tucking toes, pushing back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Weight to the left foot, raise the right foot off the mat, step it through to the top of the mat, between your hands, pivot that back heel, sweep through, warrior 1. Extend your arms out straight to your warrior 2, looking over your front fingers, palms facing down. Bring that front palm facing up, reverse back to your reverse warrior. Sweep back over to your warrior 2. Now we're going to bring our front elbow onto our front knee, palm facing up, left hand up and over into your side angle pose. Nice lunge in that front knee, front leg working hard. We're going to bring our left hand inside our front foot, bringing our hips forward, right hand to chest, and then right hand up to the ceiling in your rotated side angle. Hand to either side of your foot, the other hand side of your foot, coming back into your plank. Dropping to your knees, your supported plank, bring your elbows to your waist, coming down to your chaturanga. Gazing forward, tucking your toes, push back, downward facing dog. Three breaths here. Weight to your right foot. Let's bring that left foot off of the mat. Step it through to the top of the mat between your hands. Pivot that back heel. Sweep through. Warrior 1 on this side. And then extend your arms out to warrior 2. Gazing over your front fingers. Shoulders are in line with your hips. Bring the palm facing up. Come back to your reverse warrior. Let your back hand slide down the back of your leg. If it reaches, that back leg is straight. Sweep back over to warrior 2. And then front elbow to front knee, palm facing up, right hand up and over in your side angle pose. You can bring that top arm rested on the inside of your cheek. And then that right hand, that top hand, we're gonna bring down inside our front foot, pivot our hips forward, left hand to your chest, and left hand to the ceiling in your side angle pose. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Hand down to the other side of the foot, equal weight in both hands. Come back to your plank, come onto your knees, come onto your stomach, and here we're gonna stay, and we're gonna extend our arms straight, rest your forehead into the mat. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and out. Here we're just going to bring our right hand off of the mat, gazing forward at your right hand. And resting. Left hand off of the mat, gazing forward at your left fingers. Resting. And now we're going to bring both hands up, but our arms out to cactus arms and gazing forward. Holding here. For 3, 2, 1. We're going to bring our hands down underneath our shoulders. Bring your right knee out to the side so you're like a frog. And then that left arm extended out to the side, straight. And then Keeping your head in the mat, just push your right hand into the mat so you're opening up that hip and opening up your shoulder. Keeping your head on the ground. And releasing. So you can bring your forehead back down, bring that knee back down. Bring both hands underneath your shoulders. And then bring that left knee out to the side. Right hand out in a T, palm facing down. Sorry, the floor has dust on it. I cleaned, but it's clearly not clean enough. And then push into that right hand and keeping your shoulder on the mat. And releasing. Bring that knee back down, arms in front of you again. Resting your forehead in the mat. Now we're just going to bring our right foot off of the mat, keeping your head rested in the mat. And then coming down, and then your left leg. And then coming down. And now we're going to bring both legs and both arms off into cactus arms to our locust pose. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Hands underneath shoulders, tuck your toes, come up onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes, we're going to push back into our dog. Taking 3 breaths here. Here, just walking to the top of your mat. Sitting back into your chair, sweeping your arms through. Hands to heart center. To Tadasana. We're going to take a big step back with our right foot. And bring our toes in, heels out. Drop our shoulders down. Let's bind our hands behind us. We're going to come into our wide-legged forward fold. So hinging at our hip. Bringing our hands up overhead, keeping your chin tucked to your chest. And you can release your finger bind, bring your fingers straight down onto the mat, looking straight down at your fingers. Walking your hands over to your right ankle, grab your right ankle with your left hand. Right hand to chest and right hand to ceiling. You're rotated, forward fold. And then releasing, walking back to center. Over to the other side. Left hand. Right hand around left ankle, left hand to chest, and left hand to ceiling. And then back to center. Gazing straight down at your fingers, bringing that equal weight into your toes and your heels. We're going to bring both hands to the sides, palms facing down, looking straight down, working our whole body here. Bring your hands to your waist, take a slight bend in your knees, equal weight in your toes, and then slowly coming up to standing. Let's just bring our toes facing forward. Actually, we'll bring our toes coming out and our heels in. Bring your hands to heart center. And just do a few squats here into our goddess pose. So squatting down, fingers up to the ceiling, holding, shoulders back, arms straight. Holding. And coming up again. We'll do that one more time, see if you can go a little bit deeper. Breathing all the way down. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. Hands to side, stepping forward, shaking it out. Grab a drink if you need a drink. We're just going to do a balancing pose. Sharing my drink. Tim coming to do the close. So we'll just come in to do a little bit of a balancing pose. So let's just bring our weight into our left foot and coming up on the toes of our right. And here we're just going to gaze forward. Find your focus. And then bring that knee up. Bring your arms out to your cactus arms. In our stork pose. And here, keeping your gaze, we'll transition into our Lord of the Dance or our dancer's pose. So we'll bring our knee, keeping that right knee bent. Bring your knees together. Oh, you're going into tree, Trish. That's all right. Grab your right ankle with your right hand. Bring your knees back together. And here we're going to kick our foot into our right hand, which brings your chest forward, bringing your arm forward. Bring your thumb and your middle finger together, and you can kick that back heel higher. Whoa, keeping your focus, holding. If you fall out, you can come back in again, or you're welcome to hold on to a wall for each other. And then slowly coming out, bringing the knees together, bringing your right knee up, bowing to your right knee, placing your foot down and shaking out your left ankle. Do the same on the other side. So bringing the weight to your left foot, coming up onto the toes, weight to your right foot, toes of your left. Find your focus in front of you, and then bring that left knee up, arms out to cactus arms. Once you have your steadiness, we'll transition to our dancer's pose. So bring the knees together, grab your left heel, bring your knees back together, and you can kick your hand into your foot into your hand, which brings your chest forward. Bring your thumb, middle finger together, kick higher, and hold. One side might be easier than the other. And we'll slowly bring our knees back together. Bring your left knee up, bow to your left knee, place your foot down, shake out your right ankle. Let's bring our feet to the width of the mat. Bring your hands to heart center, and we'll squat down into our garland pose. Opening up our hips again with our elbows. See if you can try to put your heels down. Otherwise, you can go from side to side. Use your hands for support and come onto your seat. Let's just bring our soles of our feet together. And here we're going to come onto our balancing lotus. So bringing our arms under our legs, coming onto our balancing lotus. Dropping your shoulders down. Close your eyes if you can. Balance here for a moment. Our knees bent, bring our 2 fingers behind our knees, coming onto our point of balance again, bringing our hands to our sides, extending your legs straight, looking at your toes, to our boat pose. And resting. We'll do that one more time, working our core, coming onto our point of balance, hands to sides, extending your legs, looking at your toes. And release. Lengthening the left leg straight, bending that right knee, bringing your foot inside your thigh, both hands up to the ceiling. Let's just come forward, combine your foot, rest your head into your knee, head to knee pose. Wherever it reaches, bring your hands to your side, find your toe. And then releasing, using your hands to walk yourself up. You can bring that leg out to a 45, tuck that foot in further, rest your hand, left hand on your left leg, right hand up, and we're just going to bring that right hand up and over, trying to aim for your toe, looking underneath your top arm, head to shoulder. You can bring your leg out a little bit. Yes, there you go. Up. And we'll extend our right leg straight, bring your left foot in. We'll do head to knee on this side. So both arms up, coming forward, resting your head on your knee or wherever it reaches. Coming up, bringing that leg out to a 45, tucking your foot in further, resting your foot on, or your hand on your right leg, left arm up, and left hand up and over, aiming for your toe if you can reach it. Let's come onto our backs again. Keeping your knees bent. Rest your head and shoulders into the mat. Bring those knees or your heels towards your bum, and we'll just do a little bridge pose here. So we're going to bring the weight into our toes and our heels, bringing our hips up to the ceiling, binding your hands, your fingers underneath you. Keep your chin tucked to your chest, your head on the mat, bringing those hips up to the ceiling. Holding here. And release your bind, palms facing down, slowly roll down. Hug your knees to your chest, rock from side to side. to a T, palms facing down, and let both knees roll out to the left while looking over to the right. Keeping your shoulders on the mat. Find your big toes, and then keep those heels up to the ceiling and do a little rock from side to side in your happy baby. Release the toe bind, bring your feet down. Extend your legs out straight. And let your feet fall out to the side. You can have your knees bent if you wish, if it's more comfortable. Bring your hands to your sides, palms facing up. And let the mat support your head. And we'll come in to some relaxation, some shavasana. Fall out to the sides. And your eyes are closed. Your jaw is relaxed. Your lips are gently touching. You're letting the tongue fall into the back of your throat, creating space between your teeth. close our class together. Bringing our hands to heart center, thumbs to forehead, bowing down. Thank you all for coming along and practicing with me tonight. From the light in me to the light in each of you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. How is everybody feeling? Good. So beautiful looking out. Is it raining? It wasn't a bit sprinkling before. Yeah, it was too hot and fly for the shed this time, so we said no to the shed, but